Come, Nerevar, come. Witness the Daedric Artifacts from the Elder Scrolls Oblivion. The artifacts of false gods are but toys next to the House of Dagoth. Will you wield their power, or will you join me in casting down their thrones? That mongrel dog of the Empire, Martin Septim, destroys most of them, but they do have some use. Azura's star. Behold the twilight trinket, a bauble of false dawns and hollow promises. Azura, the morning mother, more like mother of melodrama. She weeps into her star, trapping souls in a cage of shimmering lies. A soul gem unbreaking, it devours spirits anew with each offering. Mortals cling to its glow, blind to the chains it forges, like moths to a candle. Do you see, Nerevar? Even in darkness, her light is a prison. While I have no love for this false god, even I must admit this trinket is useful. A rare moment of competence from the so-called Mother of Roses. But tell me, Nerevar, why chain souls when you could become a god? It's like collecting butterflies when you could be breeding dragons. S tier. Number 2 on our list is Volendrung. Witness the Oathbreaker's burden, Malakath's scorn made manifest. A hammer heavy with the weight of spurned oaths, it crushes the bones of the unworthy. Each strike echoes the lament of the betrayed like an orcish opera of agony. Can you hear the wailing, sweet Nerevar? The Orc Father's vengeance is unyielding as the stone. Its hunger is unquenchable. With every blow it drinks the vigor of the foe, leaving them crumbling under the Orc Father's scorn. Wield it and feel your sinews swell. But know you swing a mountain's grief or, a toddler's tantrum given form. Malakath, the pariah god, fashions a hammer for the outcasts. How quaint! A tool for the broken to break others, the participation trophy of Daedric Artifacts. But tell me, Nerevar, why settle for a hammer when you could wield the heart of a god? A hammer that requires the strength of an orc to wield. In the 6th house, we would simply think our enemies into oblivion. A tier. Sanguine Rose. A rose that blooms in decadence and decay. Sanguine's thorned jester summons revelry's shadow, a Daedroth drunk on your indulgences, like a party favor from the bargain bin of oblivion. Drink deep, mortal, but know this, the petals wilt, and the wine turns to ash. Pluck a petal, and a Dremora emerges, ravenous for chaos, yet bound to your whim, for a time. But when the petals fall, the jester claims his due. What price will you pay for a moment of merriment? Your dignity, your soul, probably both. Ah, Sanguine, the prince of parties. How fitting that his artifact is as fleeting as a drunkard's memory. A rose that withers, a Dremora that betrays. Is this the best the Lord of Debauchery can offer? Pathetic. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight if that knife was made of cheese and occasionally turned into a slightly angrier Daedroth. B tier. Masque of Clavicus Vile. Don the grin of the bargain prince, a visage of honeyed lies. Its charm bends wills, but the laughter you hear is your own folly, echoing in the hollow chambers of your gullibility. Honeyed words drip like poison. Merchants grovel, lovers swoon, and foes falter beneath its golden leer. Yet every smile it conjures is a debt unpaid. Clavicus trades crowns for chains, Nerevar. Will you barter your face for fleeting favor? And what's with that haircut? It's like a helmet made of bad decisions. Clavicus Vile, the prince of bad deals, offers a mask that makes people like you. How utterly mundane. Even a beggar's smile can charm a merchant. Is this the best the so-called bargain prince can do? No wonder he's always stuck with that mangy mutt Barbas. He probably got the dog in a deal where he traded his dignity for a canine companion that's almost as ugly as he is. D tier. Nerevar. Let's not forget about that brooding emo blade, the Umbra sword. A blade forged from the soul of a sullen, self-important warrior trapped in an endless cycle of angst and bloodshed. This sword whispers sweet nothings of power, promising to make you the ultimate edgelord. It hungers for souls, growing stronger with each life it consumes. like a bottomless pit of despair fueled by the tears of your enemies. But beware, Nerevar, for Umbra is a jealous mistress. It will consume you too, body and soul, leaving behind only a hollow husk, forever bound to its will. Wield it if you must, but know that you're not the one in control. You're just the latest victim in Umbra's long and tragic play, and frankly, the constant whining gets old. I'd rather listen to a pack of Nyxhounds mating. A tier, though I'd rate it lower if it weren't so undeniably effective at turning people into fertilizer. Mace of Molag Bal. The iron hymn of domination, Molag Bal's scepter drinks defiance, leaving only broken spirits. Feel its cold kiss, and know the void where hope once thrived. Each strike saps the strength of the defiant, their magicka and stamina siphoned to feed the prince of schemes. Will you kneel, or will your marrow sing his anthem? Even in resistance you serve him, like a puppet dancing on strings made of agony. Molag Bal, the lord of brutality, fashions a mace that breaks wills. How predictable! A blunt instrument for a blunt mind. Is this the best the king of unwanted contact can muster? How utterly uninspired. It's the Daedric equivalent of a rusty club. Effective, perhaps, but utterly lacking in finesse. B tier. Ring of Namira. A circle of teeth, gnawing at the veil of civility. Namira's gift is the feast of the wretched, where flesh becomes sacrament. Bite into the still warm heart of the fallen and feel your own pulse quicken, health surging as you sup on mortal flesh. It's like a morbid protein shake. Taste the forbidden and see the truth. All are but meat beneath the rot. Will you dine, Nerevar, or be devoured? Namira, the Lady of Decay, offers a ring that lets you eat corpses. How charming! A trinket for cannibals and cowards. Is this the best the Queen of Filth can offer? Even the rats of the Ashlands have more dignity. Honestly, I've seen skeevers with more refined palates. C tier. Savior's Hyde. Hircine's pelt, stitched with the sinew of the hunt. Wear it and feel the beast's pulse beneath your skin, like a furry, blood-soaked onesie. The hide scorns mortal hexes. Poisons falter, spells slither harmlessly off its bristled back. Yet the chase is eternal. Run, mortal, run. But the wilds always claim their due. Will you wear the beast or become its quarry? Hircine, the huntsman, offers a pelt that protects you from magic. How pedestrian. A shield for prey, pretending to be predators. Is this the best the Lord of the Hunt can do? Even a guar has thicker skin. It's the participation trophy of animal-themed armor. C tier. Wabbajack, madness incarnate. Sheogorath's jape, a staff that twists reality into a lunatic's tapestry. One moment a lamb, the next a storm of cheese. Its bolts twist flesh and fate on a mad god's whim, healing allies, transmuting foes to sweet rolls, or reducing them to ash. What is order but a delusion? Embrace the chaos and laugh as the world unravels, and before it unravels you, like a cheap sweater. Sheogorath, the Prince of Madness, offers a staff that turns things into cheese. How utterly ridiculous. A toy for imbeciles and jesters. Is this the best the skooma cat of the daedra can do? Even a scrib's scribblings are more useful. This is, without a doubt, the most useless, unpredictable, and utterly absurd artifact in the entirety of Oblivion. It's so bad, it's an insult to badness itself. F tier. Mehrunes Razor, a sliver of Dagon's ambition sharp enough to pierce fate itself. The razor's edge whispers, why merely kill when you can unmake? A flick of its blade may sunder soul from body, a chance so slight yet so sweet. It's like playing the lottery, but with souls instead of septums. Beware its edge, Nerevar. Even gods may bleed, if the blade wills it. But whose hand guides the strike? Yours, or the Prince of Destructions? Mehrunes Dagon, the Prince of Destruction, offers a blade that can unmake souls. Now this is a worthy artifact, a tool for those who dare to reach beyond their station. But tell me, Nerevar, why settle for a razor when you could wield the heart of a god? A razor, however sharp, is still just a tool. True power comes from within, from the divine spark that you and I both possess. A tier. Skull of corruption. Vermina's cradle of nightmares, fed by stolen dreams. Charge it with the terrors of the sleeping, and it births a twin, a phantom of your foe, wrought from their own dread, like a psychological puppet show. Yet the skull hungers eternally. Sleep, mortal, and let it feast on your fears. What is reality but a dream you cannot wake from? Vermina knows, and she laughs, probably in her sleep. Vermina, the Lady of Nightmares, offers a skull that steals dreams. How quaint. A trinket for insomniacs and cowards. Is this the best the Queen of Dread can do? Even a child's night terror is more frightening. It's the Daedric equivalent of a nightlight, utterly useless unless you're afraid of the dark. D tier. If you are enjoying this sermon, Nerevar, raise your thumbs, subscribe to my next sermon, and write on the parchment down below how you would rank these false god artifacts. The Ebony Blade. Mephalah's silken shadow, thirsting for trust's sweet blood. A dagger that grows keener with each betrayal. Friends, lovers, allies, all fodder for its edge, like a loyalty program for psychopaths. Strike from the shadows and drink their life to mend your own. Will you wield it, Nerevar, or be the thread she cuts from the web? The blade cares not, so long as the tapestry bleeds. Mephalah, the web spinner, offers a blade that thrives on betrayal. How predictable. A tool for cowards who strike from the shadows. Is this the best the spider daedra can do? Even a scrib's sting is more honorable. It's the weaponized equivalent of a backstabbing gossip columnist, B tier. And then there's Goldbrand, Boethiah's attempt at a subtle weapon. It's a katana, because of course it is. Only this one's been dipped in gold, presumably to match Boethiah's gaudy, over-the-top palace. It's also on fire. Subtlety is clearly not in the Prince of Plot's vocabulary. Wield it and feel the flames dance along its edge, burning your foes to a crisp like a poorly made flan. It's a decent enough blade, I'll grant you. Cuts well, sets things ablaze, and makes you feel like a show-off. But let's be honest, Nerevar, it's all flash and no substance. A weapon for those who prioritize style over effectiveness. Boethiah, the deceiver, offers a blade that screams, "Look at me! I'm dangerous!" while secretly being about as threatening as a well-dressed scrib. It's a weapon for posers, for those who want to appear powerful without actually putting in the work. You want true power, Nerevar? Power that doesn't rely on cheap tricks and flashy gimmicks. Then you know where to find it. B tier, and that's only because it's slightly more effective than a sharp stick. Though I'd take a sharp stick over this gaudy embarrassment any day. Ring of the Khajiiti. Oh, and let's not overlook Meridia's contribution to this sad collection of hand-me-downs. The Ring of the Khajiiti, or the Ring of the Farm Tool. A trinket that whispers promises of stealth and speed, preying on the desires of those who fancy themselves as sneaky little cats. Sure, it can cloak you in invisibility, making you harder to spot than a gar in a snowstorm, and it might even give you a slight boost in agility, letting you scamper about like a frightened mouse. But let's be honest, Nerevar, it's a crutch for the weak and unimaginative. A cheap parlor trick compared to true power. Meridia, the Lady of Infinite Energies, and this is the best she can conjure. A ring that makes you slightly harder to see and a bit quicker on your feet. I've seen goblins with more impressive magical abilities. It's the kind of artifact you give to your nephew when you forget his name day and need to grab something quick from the discount bin at the local pawn shop. Will it help you sneak past a few guards or snatch an extra sweet roll? Perhaps. But it won't make you a god, will it? It will only make you a slightly faster, slightly more invisible mortal, still leagues beneath the power offered by the House of Dagoth. C tier, and that's being generous. Spellbreaker. Peryite scales, forged in the pestilent crucible, raise this shield, and mortal magics crumble. Fire freezes, lightning flees, and frost withers to mist, like a magical fire extinguisher. The Taskmaster's mercy scorns your pitiful incantations. What are spells but fleeting sparks against the Prince of Order's design? Even in defiance you enforce his law, like a cosmic hall monitor. Peryite, the Taskmaster, offers a shield that blocks magic. How mundane. A tool for those too frail to face true power. Is this the best the Dragon of Pestilence can do? Even a mud crab's shell is sturdier. It's the defensive equivalent of a participation trophy. Everyone gets one, but it doesn't actually do much. C tier, Oghma Infinium. Hermaeus Mora's grimoire, its pages writ in forbidden tongues. Feast on its words and watch your skill swell. Warrior, mage, or thief, all paths lead to the Gardener of Men. Like a choose-your-own-adventure book of ultimate power. But is it knowledge, or a labyrinth where minds are lost? Gaze too long into its depths, and your soul becomes ink for the Daedra's quill, like a cosmic library fine you can never repay. What secrets will you trade for power, Nerevar, or will you drown in them? Hermaeus Mora, the Gardener of Men, offers a book that grants knowledge. How predictable. A tome for those too weak to seek power on their own. Is this the best the Lord of Secrets can do? Even a scrib's scribblings are more enlightening. It's the Daedric equivalent of a self-help book, promising much, but ultimately leaving you more confused than when you started. B tier. Ah, the Skeleton Key, Nocturnal's crowning jewel, a lockpick that defies the very concept of barriers. A tool that whispers promises of infinite potential, yet binds its wielder to the Lady of Shadow's eternal schemes. Like a universal key with a very expensive subscription fee, it opens all doors, both literal and metaphorical, but at what cost, Nerevar? For every lock it breaks, another chain is forged around your soul. Nocturnal's favor is a fleeting thing, and her debts are paid in lifetimes. Nocturnal, the mistress of shadows, offers a key that unlocks anything. A tempting trinket, is it not? But tell me, Nerevar, why pick locks when you could shatter them? Why grovel for Nocturnal's favor when you could rise above her as a god? The Skeleton Key is a tool for thieves and cowards, those who fear to face the world head-on. The House of Dagoth offers true power, unbound by locks or chains. Will you kneel to the Night Mistress or rise with me as a god? S tier. These trinkets reek of desperation, Nerevar. Their power is a leash, their gifts a slow poison. The House of Dagoth offers true divinity, unshackled, eternal. Will you grovel at the feet of these princes or rise with me as a god? Honor the sixth house and the tribe unmourned by raising your thumb, subscribing to my sermons, and writing on the parchment down below. Thank you to all Sixth House members and patrons for funding the operation of the Sixth House across Tamriel. I would like to thank the adoring fan Connor Runda and the current Sharmat Tanya Davis for your unwavering loyalty during these less productive times.